Good morning, Eamon. Well, yes, we're here at Bedfordshire Fire and Rescue Service because fire control staff are among the 100,000 critical workers that have been identified by the Prime Minister for this daily testing scheme. We're inside the main area where fire crews will come in and out. So if the fire bell does go off, we are going to have to deal with that live on air, but that is no problem at all. Now, this all comes amid staffing shortages across many different sectors across the UK. Last week, we topped over 200,000 COVID cases for the first time in the UK. But it is not just for people in food processing, border force and national security. It also is eligible for people in police and fire service control rooms. We're here obviously in the main area where these fire engines are, but they do have their control room just further down the site as well. But it is also for people in electricity related jobs and also in COVID warehouses and surge labs. But now let's talk to Matt Blanchard. Now, Matt has taken a COVID test for us this morning as part of this scheme. Matt, just tell us, are we in the clear?
We are. It's good news. Yeah, it's a negative test. Thank you.
Brilliant, Matt. Morning, Matt. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Brilliant. So just tell us what you think about this scheme. How important is it? You're an emergency service that you are out on the road saving lives.
Yes, so testing for us is a really useful control measure because it enables us to keep our staff safe, so we prevent outbreaks of the virus on stations. And that's really important because it enables us to provide our emergency response, so these appliances behind you can actually respond to those incidents. And it's also important for the public that they have confidence that our staff are tested regularly, so when we interact with them at operational incidents, and also when we carry out our important fire prevention and protection work, they know that we're following the current guidance.
And have you had any problems at all so far through the pandemic and also in this Omicron wave in terms of staff shortages?
Like most services, we've had some staff absences, but we've had very strict guidelines and guidance on station. COVID risk assessments have been completed and regularly reviewed. So we've actually been able to cut down on the number of infections in the workplace, and at no time has it affected our operational response.
And if you did have a couple of members of staff who did catch coronavirus, you were talking to me earlier and saying that you work in almost bubbles. What would that do to kind of the service and the operations that you undertake if a couple of people, say, got ill?
For us, we would follow the risk assessment that's on the station, so our staff maintain social distancing, hands, face and space. Obviously, there's times when we can't maintain that social distancing, so when we're in the crew cab here, but we'll make sure we wear masks. So if staff on duty do contract the virus, because we've maintained those control measures, the whole station doesn't need to isolate, just be those individuals.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time, Matt. Very reassuring that that was a negative COVID test. But this is going to be in place precautionary for the next 5 weeks. But it does come amid concern from the Trades Union Congress that this does not cover all eligible, all emergency service and critical workers that the government perhaps might have set out at the start of the pandemic. And again, it comes amid the government admitting that they were struggling to get COVID tests out via home delivery. I went on the website last night and they said there were no home delivery slots available for lateral flow tests. So I think it'll be a relief to people here in Bedfordshire, for example, that they are able to get access to regular COVID testing.